Welcome back, fellow card fighters. Today's another beautiful day of doing deck profiles. Today we're going to do a deck profile in preparation for Moonlit Treasure Cup, or if you're a tryhard who wants to win BSF, this is the deck that you just gotta build and you pretty much just win games. If you thought it was Bavsargra, you guessed it right. Let's get started, I guess. So for the red line, you're running the new grade 0, the new grade 1, the new grade 2, and the new grade 3 buffs. So the cool part about the new grade 1 is you don't get to look for just the sword or the shield. You do if you go first. However, if you go second, you get to look for both of them. So if you go second, it's crazy because you deck thin 2 cards out, draw for going second on top of it. So out of the theoretically 44 cards left in the deck, you just made it into a 43. So and then your chances of drawing the trigger is lower because you thinned it out. I mean, not really lower. But anyways, statistically, it's pretty better that you're going to hit over trigger or your triggers during your drive checks. Grade 2, when you ride over it with the grade 3, you counterblast 1, look for 2 arms, again, 2 different names, put it to the drop zone, and then you could choose 1 arms from the drop and equip it to your Vanguard. So that deck thing is like crazy on top of it. So now, new Bavsargra. It fixes a lot of the issues that the OG one had. I think that zoom is the most I can even do. So this unit is considered as a old school Bob's name. When you could put a card into the soul as an X skill to choose an arms card from your hand, or nope, yeah, never mind. So the new grade 3 Bobs is cracked. If you think about it, it fixes a lot of the issues that the OG one had. First skill is continuous skill. It's considered as the OG name Bob's name. Second skill is the X skill of putting a card from your hand to the soul. Then you choose an arms card from your drop and arm it to the Vanguard. Third skill is another X skill. It's if this unit is armed with 2 or more cards, you can Soul Blast 2, retire all of your opponent's front row rear guards, and this unit gains extra crit. And if you retired nothing, you draw a card. So the fact that the draw is a possibility, really good. It fixed a lot of issues the OG one had. OG1 also didn't have the grade restrict, so the fact that you can do this on your opponent's grade 2 turn if you go first is also pretty nuts. Last skill, the fourth one, auto skill. When this unit is armed, you energy charge 1, choose a grade 1 or less card from the drop and call to the rear guard. If you chose a card with the Veil Lord in its card name, you may overdress it on top of a Trick Moon on your rear guard circle instead of calling it. That is really good, honestly. So that way you can easily get the Veil Lord overdress from the drop consistently. For the grade 3s, we of course gotta run 3 copies of the new buffs, 1 copy of the shield, 2 copies of the sword. Let me put it this way, it looks more prettier. 1 mace, and then 1 axe. Then last but not least, the 5 regalies. The 5 regalies is there just so that you can build your board if need be. It's a free PG fodder. The guard restrict is for the X. If you equip this, you can when you attack, your opponent needs to guard with 2 cards or more. At the end of the battle, at the end of the turn, you can counterblast 1 and choose another arms and equip it. So you switch it back to the shield. Mace is there so you can do a board control if need be, and also it gives your Vanguard a 10k until the end of the turn when it's armed with this. The shield is there for defensive. You can activate it once per battle. You can use it to get 10k shield, or you can Soul Blast 1, make it into a 20k shield, which is really crazy. The sword. Sword is a new card that came out. It's really great. You can arm it by playing Counterblast 1, but more than likely you probably wouldn't do it that way. But the skill is that the second skill is what's important. When this unit, this card is armed, choose one of your Vanguards and it gains the continuous skills. All of your front row units get plus 5k until the turn. You can stack this. So let's say you, using your grade 2, arm this with Bob, and then you play this from hand, you can arm it again. That plus 5 stacks twice, so it's plus 10k. It's pretty much like a free persona, right, in theory. Last skill, when this when the unit armed with this card attacks as a grade 3 or greater unit, you may have that unit gain plus 1 drive. So this allows your Vanguard to get a triple drive, but technically the wording will be twin drive plus 1 until the end of the battle. At the end of that battle, at the end of the turn, you put this card to the drop. Now you have so many utility. You have ways to do triple drive. You have ways to make a 20k guard instead of 10k guard like the old school. Board control. You can do a guard restrict turn. So you do a lot of things with Bob's this format right now. So the grade 2, of course, you got to play this play set of the restender, the grade 2. And then I run 3 copies of Parla. I think that's the one set 4. And then I run 3 copies of the card that came from set 12. And that's it for the grade 2, honestly. So a lot of people are not playing this card. I think they're sleeping on it. Let's see. When this unit is placed on a rearguard circle, you can Soul Blast 1, look at top 7 cards of the deck, choose up to 1 card with an overdress ability, and up to 1 arms card among them. Reveal it. Choose up to 1 card from among the revealed cards, aka either the overdress or the arms, and you put 1 of them into your hand and discard the rest into the drop zone. Second skill, when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if your Vanguard has 2 or more arms, this unit gains 10k. So I like it because it allows you to deck thin. It becomes a 20k beat stick base before you do any of these sword shenanigans, Veilor shenanigans, or Persona Rise shenanigans. So the power number is there. Second card of the grade 2. This one is when placed on a rearguard from hand. Emphasis on from hand. That's the most important part. If you have a Vanguard with the Seal Blaze in its card name, so you can do it in your grade 2. Look at top 5 cards of the deck. Choose up to 1 card with overdress ability, or what was it? Cross dress? I don't remember. Yeah, it should be the overdress ability for the Veilord. Or choose up to 1 arms cards from among them. Discard it and shuffle the rest. So it pretty much does similar thing, but this one requests from on hand. You can also use it on Java technically if you really wanted to. But this allows you to look for the Veilord or the Trick Moon along with the arms. You choose 1, not 2, and you drop it to the drop zone. Second skill is what makes this card really good. Is whenever your Vanguard is armed, you can Energy Blast 3, call this from the drop zone to the rear guard, and gain 5k. So it becomes a 15k beat stick, so you can use it to early game poke, you can use it to intercept, guard, whatever, and you'll get it back the next turn with, when you're arming your Vanguard. Last but not least for the grade 2 is the shiny new Restander. So when this unit is placed on a rear guard from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Seal Blaze in its card name, you Energy Blast 3, discard an arms card, you draw 2 cards out of that, and if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gains 5k. So allows you to deck thin, draw 2 for the cost of ditching 1, and also becomes a 15k beat stick if your opponent's grade 3. Second skill is the most important one. At the end of the battle, your Vanguard with Bob's name has attacked your opponent's Vanguard with grade 3 or greater. Counterblast 1, resend this unit. So it's really good. The only downside is that you can't revive it. So if it's gone, it's gone. If it's bound, it's gone. There's no way for you to bring it back. I guess the only one is, prison. You could bring it back. For the grade 1, of course, this is the global, so the ban restriction has not happened yet, so you're going to abuse the fuck out of it. We're running a playset of Veilord, 3 copies of Cindy, 1 Elementaria, and 3 PGs. Honestly, thought more and more about this with the current meta. You might not want to run the Elementaria. Instead, you might be better off running the 4th PG. There will be some times where that could come in handy, especially when there's a stall out games, because a lot of people would try to stall out buffs. That's one way of winning it. If that does happen, the PG Elementaria would not be as effective in comparison to the regular PG. So keep that in mind. Moving on to Cindy. Cindy's a promo. They're overpriced right now, but if you wait until Festival Collection comes out next month in June, they should drop a little bit. They are getting reprinted in that set, so just a heads up. Cindy, X skill, if you have a grade 3 or greater named Nirvana or Bavsargra, you can put this in a soul, choose up to 1 arms card from your drop, or a card with the overdress ability and from the drop, and put it into your hand. So you can get a Veilord out from the drop zone with this, or you can get an arms card out of this one. Second skill is when your unit with Trickstar or Trick Moon is called onto the rearguard circle by a grade 3 or greater Vanguard's ability. Other than the battle phase, if you do not have a rearguard with the same name as this card, you may call it. So it's a free respawn when you get a Trick Moon out of it. That's really good. So you can keep recycling it, put in a soul blast it with Bob's skill, and then whenever you call something out with Trick Moon, then you just call it back out onto the board. Veilord. This card will probably be getting the same restriction as they've given out on Japan to global, because how good it is and how consistent it is. So Trick Moon skill, one of the key point thing is this card cannot be chosen by an opponent's card effects. So if it's like a board wipe like a Varga, then it can be targeted that way, but it can't be singly chosen. Alright. The other skill, when this unit is placed on a rear guard by an overdressed ability, you can counterblast one, choose up to one total of 2 arms card from your hand or drop. Arm one of them to your vanguard and put the other one into the soul. So it allows you to soul charge, it allows you to arms also. So this is one way of also arming your sword back to back to back, which is kind of nuts. Last skill, it's like overdress ability, whatever. When this unit boosts with an overdress state, all of your front row unit gains 5k until end of the turn for each of your vanguard is armed with. So obviously at one point or another, your vanguard is always going to have 2 arms. So whenever this unit boosts, doesn't have to be boosting the vanguard, just whenever it boosts and your vanguard has 2 arms, gives the front row continuous 10k. So God forbid you have Veilord on 3 back rear guard circle and you boost all of them. That's literally a 30k front row boosting kind. So it is kind of nuts. That's not including the persona, the sword loop, and also whatever triggers you get out of it. Alright, the grade zeros, obviously before start with the trigger, you're running 4 trick moons. I don't know what there is to talk about, aside from the fact that whenever this unit is placed in a back row center circle from drop, you'll counter charge, so it's your counter charger for this deck. Last skill is whenever this unit boosts, the boosted unit gets 10k until end of the battle for each of a card that Bavs is armed with. So if you're armed with 2 cards like you should be, this becomes a 25k booster. Finally, moving on to the trigger. Obviously, gonna play the Dragon Empire over trigger because that's one of the best over trigger in game. 3 of the front triggers, and then you're running 8 crits and 4 generic heals. If you really wanted to for mirror match, I guess in theory you should go with the restanding heal trigger effect, because you know restanding rear guards is a thing and sometimes restanding vanguard is a thing. There's no point of putting in the crit effect heal trigger for buffs if you're facing against buffs, because they're gonna have so much high number that 10k 20k difference whatever having that effect trigger pop off is not going to cover it. This meta against buffs is PG or die or OT or die. You're literally just not going to try to do that. So you're better off getting the one for restander, so you can at least use it against rear guards. You run the front because honestly you're going to deck thin like crazy. You don't need help drawing your deck. You really don't. So the front is the best number to go with. Dragon Empire OT, you're literally just going to free win the game. Like, the second you condition drive check this shit, GG. Your opponent's just gonna rage quit and you're just gonna move on to the next table and you're gonna try to go win the top for BSF or for the event. Well, that's about it, you fucking tryhards. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and comment below. Yeah, and then shortly here, I'm gonna start giving a sweepstake video coming out. I'm gonna make a sweepstake video, so I'll be giving free gifts. I guess stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.